Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the prediction show. And as always for these prediction shows, I am joined by my mom. Mom, say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody, as we enter 2020, and we have not done a show together in about a year, going on a year and a half. The last time you and I did a prediction show was Survivor Series and NXT War Games 2018, and now we're back in the new year, starting off with actually a brand that we both enjoy, that being NXT UK. And we were talking about NXT UK Blackpool 2, which has a lot of great matchups, headlined by Walter and Joe Coffey. And I'm just going to say this right now. For you, I think I could say this.
What?
Well, we'll get to Hey Man in a little bit. But no, I think it's just, it's really tough to predict the main roster pay-per-views. And it's not that they're bad, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just you and I have kind of had like a disconnect with the main roster. I'll be honest with you. Right now, my two brands that I enjoy right now are NXT UK and NXT. 205 is whatever because it's mostly just the NXT talents now, and there's hardly any 205 originals on there. I mean, you got Brian Kendrick, and yeah, you took him off of NXT.
Brian Kendrick is still
of course,
there,
and you have the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
And Gallagher is there.
Yeah, Jack Gallagher, but it's just like, yeah, I'm kind of man with 205. Really, the only thing that I've been enjoying is NXT, which now Rhea Ripley is the NXT Women's Champion, which I'm happy about. And, you know, NXT UK, which we'll talk about Kaylee Ray's match. But, yeah, those, I would say right now, are kind of the two brands that I'm mostly digging. I know you've been enjoying NXT and NXT UK. Mm-hmm. Is that how you feel, or is it just kind of like you have that disconnect with the main roster, too?
I told you, and all these different days have just kind
of that kind of effed me up, too. And, I mean, well, back in the day, SmackDown used to be on Fridays, but it's just like... Yeah, I have to get acclimated to it. I'm not used to it. I'm used to it on Tuesdays, and now we have to worry about Fox and Raw's 3 hours of bleh, which is just...
Yeah, I don't know what's been with Raw.
I've been enjoying Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, I'll be honest with you. That's great, match, but Seth Rollins as the heel now, and they brought back the Big Show last night, which was cool, but it's just, nah. I don't know. I'm kind of with the whole thing. But right now, I will say this. If anybody is enjoying, if you want to enjoy WWE, NXT, and NXT UK brands are your brands. Which, by the way,
yes.
The other thing I will say this about this, because Triple H does a great job with NXT, same with Shawn Michaels. But now, if anybody wants to thank the great job that we have with NXT UK, Shawn Michaels has been helping laying out a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So, Heartbreak Kid. But yeah, so let's hop right into it. We got 5 matches to talk about. NXT UK Blackpool 2, which will take place this Sunday live on the WWE Network. Noon time, our time, 5 p.m. UK time, my mommy. So Here we go. Let's start this off.
What time?
It's noon our time, 5 p.m. UK time.
Oh, okay. So our time is all we care about.
Yeah, why are you dissing the Brits, man?
I'm not dissing the Brits, but the thing is we're talking over here to Americans. Then they gotta watch it.
UK visitors.
That's true too. Hi, I'm sorry, y'all.
First and foremost, UK visitors. They're UK listeners.
Well, I know what you meant.
Well, we technically do have UK visitors.
Okay,
you know
so
why?
12 here and
5 p.m.
there.
Well, technically we have UK visitors here in the States. Do you know why?
Why?
WrestleMania weekend. Everybody from the UK comes for WrestleMania. So
well, when the hell is WrestleMania?
In March and April, but still. And then you have people that went over to New Japan that go over to see Wrestle Kingdom from the States. So we're traveling. Yeah. We're not fucking world travelers like Marissa Tomei and my cousin Vinny. Are you a fucking world traveler? So anyway, I digress. Let's talk about NXT UK Blackpool 2. So we'll start off with this match.
Yep.
Trent Seven. What the hell are you doing?
I said yep.
Yep. What'd it do? Okay, Skip Sheffield. We're going to start with this. Trent Seven versus Eddie Dennis. Now, Eddie Dennis, we have seen on NXT UK, he had a bit of a feud with the Bomber, Dave Mastiff. Former headmaster, teacher there, actually trained with Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne. What's great about that is when NXT UK started, we got the introduction to Eddie Dennis, so that was pretty cool. So we know that he has history with Mustache Mountain. It all started really Trent Seven coming out of his match, and then Eddie Dennis was in the crowd there, grabbing his hand, and then he took out Trent Seven's opponent, threw him back in the ring like a sacrifice, and then Trent Seven wanted to know what the hell's going on with you, Eddie Dennis. Just comes out here, has the microphone, bam, slaps him right in the head, and said, I'll see you at NXT TakeOver Blackpool 2. So, here we are, Eddie Dennis and Trent Seven. I'll be honest with you, I think this is going to be a start of something between these two. Right now, I'm going to go with Eddie Dennis to get the win over Trent Seven. Who are you going with, Eddie Dennis or Trent Seven?
I think Eddie Dennis, but I'm saying Trent Seven.
You think Eddie Dennis, but you want to go with Trent Seven. You want to go Mustache Mountain there. All right. So, personally, you know what it is, too, about this card? Every matchup, like we saw with the last Blackpool, is Takeover. It's going to be really good. So, I think you're going to be in a treat with this one. So, I'm going to go Eddie Dennis. You're going to go Trent Seven, even though you think Eddie Dennis is going to take the victory. Yeah. All right. So, now let's get into the next matchup. We got Tyler Bate.
They've been on a losing streak.
Who's been on a losing streak? Oh, yeah. Well, Trent Seven... when Tyler Bate, not really. I mean, they've had their wins and their losses. I mean, Tyler Bate came off a win against Cassius Ohno. Trent Seven coming off wins against like Sakona Reeves, the finest.
Oh yeah, that's
true. Who's been going on?
It seemed like he was losing a lot for a while. I don't know.
He was, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I gotta go with Eddie Dennis. You go with Trent Seven. But personally, I think we're gonna continue with it. But it's gonna be good nonetheless. Then we head over to Tyler Bate versus Jordan Devlin, which started because Jordan Devlin has been doing these slideshows mocking Tyler Bate. The fact
Tyler Bate.
Can I at least talk about the backstory before you?
I don't want to know that. I know the backstory.
Well, for people that aren't watching it.
I just want to say, oh, sorry about that. Did it?
No, you're fine, but I'd like to give the backstory for people that don't know about it.
Okay, but I want Tyler Bate.
All right, just let me explain it.
Explain it.
So anyway, Jordan Devlin has been doing the slideshows, mocking Tyler Bate for his loss to Walter, and pretty much he took part of Tyler Bate's protege there, A-Kid, who was the newcomer to NXT UK from Spain, and he took out his boy A-Kid. So now Tyler Bate and Jordan Devlin, here we are. We saw Jordan Devlin at the last NXT UK Blackpool against his mentor Finn Balor. I mean,
he lost.
Jordan Devlin has been having a hell of a year. Took out the Bomber Dave Massive in a match. Great match. We've seen him in his feud with the Kiwi Buzzsaw Travis Banks. And now he's in a feud with Tyler Bate. Personally, this is another one that's a show stealer. I'm looking forward to seeing these two go at it. So, but just like you, I'm actually going to pick Tyler Bate as well. Just because I think he's going to shut up the Irish ace that is Jordan Devlin. So you two are going with Tyler Bate?
I said it to begin with.
Well, you have to let me... Again, you do realize, unfortunately, which I don't know what's wrong with you people, a lot of these people don't know about NXT UK. You got to give the backstory to the people. Why you just want to just blurt out shit?
Well, it's a habit.
Yeah, bad habit. So, we'll both agree on this one. We'll go with Tyler Bate. Good Lord. So, next matchup.
Big strong boy.
The big strong boy indeed. Tyler Bate. You gotta love the UK chants, man. It's great. We're gonna get to some more UK chants here in a second. But we're coming up to the actual 3 title matches. We're gonna start with the triple threat match for the NXT UK Women's Championship as Kaylee Ray defends against Toni Storm and Piper Niven. Now, Kaylee Ray defeated Toni Storm back at Cardiff. Toni Storm's obsessed with getting the title back. Piper Niven has been wanting to get a shot at that title as well. Challenged Kaylee Ray. Toni Storm's telling her to back off. We've seen them go into confrontation. It's become an obsession with Toni Storm, but I like the addition of Piper Niven.
I don't.
Well, here's the thing. ICW, Mark Dows's promotion, has that tie-in with NXT UK because a lot of the talent came from ICW. And I'll say this to the people listening. If you want to see a great match, Kaylee Ray challenging, Piper Niven, here's the thing. When she was in ICW and doing her ICW thing, she wasn't Piper Niven, she was Viper. And, you can't really call her Viper in WWE because, hello, Randy Orton. There's already a Viper. So, Viper was the ICW Women's Champion, and Kaylee Ray had this great match at ICW's premiere event, Fear and Loathing, in 2018. It was a Queen of Insanity match. No disqualification, saw a lot of thumbtacks. It was just very brutal matchup. So,
I mean, very brutal. Not very brutality.
That's what I said. It had a lot of brutality, my bad.
Oh, a lot of brutality. It was a brutal match.
I got a little tongue-tied. It happens.
Not good
you see?
Tongue-tie yourself.
Sons of bitches. And so... You saw a lot with Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven. And the addition of Toni Storm, like I said, these are 3 friends in action.
Toni Storm lost
the title to
Kaylee Ray. So Toni Storm should get it back.
Well, I don't
Piper Niven came in later on.
Well, I think it's great that we have the addition. It's going to be a great triple threat.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, you're going to go with Toni Storm to take it back?
I think she should get it back.
I don't see that. I'm going to say Kaylee Ray pins Toni Storm, and this will drive Toni Storm nuts and want the title back. And I think we're going to get a continuation with Piper Niven in the mix with Kaylee Ray. And Kaylee Ray just got the belt again. So I'm going to say Kaylee Ray retains. I mean, she's had it since Cardiff, which was over the summer, but still. I think you're going to get...
Toni Storm just came back.
I don't see her winning the title, though. I think you got to draw it out, man. You got the chase going here.
Draw what out?
You got to draw out the storyline. May have some more matches.
Yeah, maybe, but Piper and Niven what are they going to do? Have another triple threat?
Well, hey, man, they did it with Triple H, Benoit, and Michaels. Why not for the women thing?
I don't know.
It happens. You know, you got good things here. You got a great matchup with these three. So I'm going with Kaylee Ray to retain. So we'll differ on that, but again, we're in for a great match.
Nobody's going with Piper Niven?
No, I think it's too soon.
You think that's what I think?
It's too soon.
It shouldn't even be in the dang thing.
She's gonna be an integral part of the division, but I think it's too soon for Piper Niven to win it.
So who's getting pinned?
Kaylee Ray's pinning Toni Storm.
No, Kaylee Ray will
well, I don't think she's going to pin Piper Niven because I think they're going to continue with Piper.
Size difference.
We shall see. There's nothing wrong with that. That there's a size difference. She's a big girl that can move. Dave Mastiff can move, and he's a big guy too. So
why are you comparing her to him?
Because they're both big, but she's not as big as Dave Mastiff.
No, she's not.
But
so you really shouldn't.
And also, I feel bad for Piper Niven. She had a case of cerebral palsy. She was just in the hospital not too long ago.
Well, I'm sorry. Then she should have stayed out.
Stayed out of what?
Sat this out and got better.
First and foremost, Gregory Iron, who's a professional wrestler, also has cerebral palsy and has a case of the palsy too, and he wrestles.
Cerebral palsy?
Yeah.
No, I thought you said.
Bell's palsy.
Bell's palsy. I know. Cerebral palsy don't go.
No, I'm sorry. Bell's palsy. She had what Jim Ross had. Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry. I confused the two palsies. My bad.
All I'm saying is, like you just said, it's too soon. So why couldn't she just not be in this match?
First and foremost,
and
who else?
Those two go at it. So then Kaylee Ray could pin Toni Storm.
But they've been building Piper Niven. I mean, she just beat Ginny. She just took out Jazzy Gabbard. She's been taking out a lot of people, so they're putting her in there.
But that's because Toni Storm wasn't there.
So, now Toni Storm is back. So you make it a triple threat match, which makes it good and makes it interesting.
The baby just meowed.
What, Jackson?
He just yawned.
Yeah, we got the cat sleeping on my bed. Great. So, but no, I mean, it's going to be good. Like I said, I might sound like a broken record and very repetitious here, but you have a great card with 5 stack matches. But I'm going Kaylee Ray in this one, but you're going to say Toni Storm finally gets it back.
Only because I don't like Kaylee Ray.
Okay. First and foremost,
I'm not really going for people who I think are winning.
First and foremost,
who I like right now.
Great heel. She's a great heel, and I know she was in the Mae Young Classic, the inaugural Mae Young Classic. What?
I just don't.
She was. Her. She's good though. I know you don't like her appearance, but she's good.
I don't like her.
It happens. Okay.
Yeah.
You may not like a lot of people's appearances, but they're still great wrestlers.
I didn't say that.
You're hating. Stop hating. Start participating.
I've been drinking lots of haterade these days.
That's what you're doing.
It's the new thing for 2020. I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah, exactly. No fucks given over here.
That's right.
Goddamn.
No more.
Fuckers. So we're going to the fatal
words, man.
So we're going to the fatal 4-way. Well, we got history coming up next. We got the fatal 4-way tag team ladder match for the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. The champions, Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. Amen. Oh. Taking on Imperiums, Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. Taking on the grizzled young veterans, Zach Gibson. Take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. Zach Gibson, take your shoes off. And James Drake with his shoes and no socks, a.k.a. Ass-Face. Ass-Face. And Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, the former NXT UK Tag Team Champions. So I'm going to say this right now. You're going to be in for a lot of high-octane aerial assault. You're going to see a lot of brutality in this. I'm going to eliminate 2 right here. I don't see Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster getting it back. No. And I don't see the grizzled young veterans winning. I think because of the stipulation, which we'll get to the main event in a second here, but you have the brutal brawls and the brutality as well. I'm using that word a lot here. Which we had with Dragunov and Alexander Wolf in that no DQ match. But you have that feud with Gallus and Imperium, who's going to be the top faction on NXT UK. I'm going to say it right now. I know Gallus just got the belts not too long ago, but I don't see them in a way keeping it here. I want them to keep it, but I'm going to go with Imperium. I'm going to go with Eichner and Bartel, new tag champs, fatal 4-way ladder match. Who you going with? Who you going with? You're going with Mark Coffey and Wolfgang to retain.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the match? It's going to be good. First ever fatal 4-way for the tag titles ladder match. I mean, you've been enjoying the Grizzled Young Veterans and Mark Andrews and Flash Mark Webster, which I'm happy to say. I like them too, but I don't see them winning it back here.
I'd like to see them.
I would, but their big feud here is Gallus and Imperium.
And those other guys are bigger than them.
Well, yes, but Imperium, Eichner and Bartel, you could say what you want, but they're good. They're really good. And same with Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. I like to see Gallus win, but unfortunately, I think we're going to have a situation here, which we'll get to the main event in a second here.
Oh, you think Wolf is going to get
Well, we're going to get to that in a second, but I think Eichner and Bartel are going to win and just take it over. And we're going to see the Imperium rule NXT UK, which then brings us to the main event, which, here's the thing, I'm just going to say right now, I love the continuity. And what I mean by that is, Look at last year. We had Pete Dunne and Joe Coffey at NXT UK Blackpool, the first one. For the UK title, Pete Dunne retains, right? Then who makes his debut? None other than Walter. Then Big Boots, Joe Coffey, and then we have the stare down with Walter and Pete Dunne, and then Walter would go on to beat Pete Dunne for the NXT UK Championship. I know you hated it, but it was still a great match nonetheless. And now continuity 1 year later, it's Walter and Joe Coffey, UK title on the line. United Kingdom Championship on the line, excuse me. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, we saw the great match that he had with Tyler Bate. We've seen Walter in a lot of great matches. He's defended against the Kiwi Buzzsaw, Travis Banks. Walter has been killing it. It's the Ring General versus the Iron King, Joe Coffey here. I mean, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. I don't see Joe Coffey winning it, though. I'm going to say Walter retains. I don't think it's time yet for Walter to lose the championship. I think like I mentioned, Imperium's going to be running NXT UK, and we'll talk about Imperium in a second here, and what's going to be coming out for the future with them. But in this particular main event matchup, I am going to say Walter, the Ring General, retains over the Iron King, Joe Coffey. Who are you going with, Walter or Joe Coffey?
Walter.
But why? What is the problem with Walter? Is it just because he's big, or what's the problem you like? Is it the chops? What's the problem with Walter?
He took the belt from Pete Dunne.
Well, Pete Dunne's on NXT now. He's having a great NXT. He just came off a great match with Adam Cole, baby. The NXT Championship. He's been doing his thing. He was involved in the feud with Damian Priest and Killian Dane.
You keep waving
which is still going on.
That hand in my face, I'm going to hit it.
What's the problem with it?
I don't need it being waved.
I'm not trying to hit it in your face. I'm just trying to, enunciate. So, I mean, it's going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing Walter and Joe Coffey. But I'm going Walter. You're going Walter. I think we're going to have a continuation of this. But either way, we're in for a hell of a night with the NXT UK Blackpool 2. And those are the 5 matches that they've announced. So, I'm looking forward to it. How about yourself? Noon, Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So, yeah. That is the matches for NXT UK. And I think after this, we got Worlds Collide on the 25th. Imperium. Speaking of Imperium, we got Imperium. It's NXT and NXT UK combined here for the brands. So we get Imperium's Alexander Wolf, Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bartel, and Walter taking on the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bebe, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Personally, I cannot wait till when Worlds Collide. I think that's going to kill it.
I think that'll be good.
I know you want them to win, but it's going to be hard. The Undisputed Era.
They're not going to win probably, but
no, I mean
they usually find a way to
But it's
win.
the top factions on NXT and NXT UK going at it, which is very cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean that's the thing.
Undisputed Era.
I gotta go with the Undisputed Era too. The system, but it's gonna be cool nonetheless. And I mean, it's a great weekend for wrestling with 12 noon starting with the NXT UK.
When is this again?
NXT UK Blackpool 2 is noon on
this Sunday.
This Sunday
okay.
on the WWE Network, 5 p.m. UK time, noon our time. Okay. I was thinking it was like last time, like it was 2 p.m. our time and 7 p.m. UK time, but it's not. It's on at
12
noon.
and 5. 12 and
5, baby. So yeah, that's what's going on. NXT UK Blackpool 2. I mean, we might be back for when Worlds Collide, hopefully. I mean, we get to talk about Imperium and Undisputed Era.
Oh, wait a minute. We are not talking about Worlds Collide?
No, there's only one match announced. Wait till we get closer. Gotcha. I mean, it's only like a 2.5 hour show here. That's why there's only 5 matches on the NXT UK show. So, yeah. Those are our predictions going into NXT UK Blackpool 2.
Mine are probably all wrong, but like
why do you say yours are wrong?
Well, because this time I'm just going by who I like as opposed to who I think is
You've done very well on predictions where you just go with who you like. You've beaten me, so it happens.
Not usually.
Right,
I have, but not in a while. It's not been. Well,
we shall see. And I mean, then as far as pay-per-views go, I mean, we got the Royal Rumble. The only thing that we have announced for that is The Fiend and Daniel Bryan and Becky Lynch and Asuka and the men and women's Royal Rumble matches, which that's fine, and we did find out that Brock Lesnar is number 1 in the Royal Rumble match.
And if he beats everybody, who does he fight himself?
Well,
or then what is he going to do?
I don't know.
Run around the match and beat himself up?
No.
Run around the ring. I mean,
I think personally,
there won't be a match.
Well, I like the idea of Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble because it's. I do. I'm just saying he cracked me up this week with the 3-2-1 and just the No Way Jose taking out the Conga line. I mean, I laughed. I like what they're doing with Drew McIntyre. It's going to be interesting. And then we have, February is just NXT TakeOver in Portland. And we have AEW's Revolution pay-per-view, which is highlighted. It looks to be by Cody Rhodes versus MJF. And Chris Jericho, which I'm just going to say it right now. My God. The man, if people have been pointing this out, that gut of his has got to go, Chris. It just has to go. I mean, he got the win over Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom, but it looks like we're going to get Jericho and Moxley for the title. So, you know what it is? I have no problem with AEW, but the thing is, they gotta stop with the knocking of the WWE. It's just like, silly. Okay, we get it. So, yeah, that's...
Do your thing and just stop talking about others.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, again,
I'm saying it. I'm just saying it. And like I said, it's just...
Oh, my God.
It's just, it is what it is. So, that's AEW.
You know what? You didn't give me a chance to say anything about Royal Rumble. And there are other people in there deserving of it.
What are you talking about?
Roman.
Well, Roman Reigns is in the Rumble match, right?
I know, so why couldn't he win?
Well, they're pushing the fact of with Daniel Bryan, if he beats the Fiend, of Roman and Daniel Bryan, which because Roman...
Oh, not again. Let Daniel
No.
Let him win. Let him win. No, I think he should win.
No, they did the thing where, because Roman's coming back from leukemia, so let's see if he wins.
No, let Daniel Bryan have it.
Nah, it's...
No. That started his...
That started the boo thing, yeah.
Let Daniel Bryan have it.
Oh, man. But no, I mean, it's going to be... Like I said, I really am just interested in seeing what happens. NXT UK Blackpool is really the start of what's going to be great in January. It's very underrated. I'm going to say this. If you're not watching the brand, you should give it a chance.
Yeah, it's good. I didn't used to watch it, and then I got hooked on it. I like it.
I know you like it.
I find it more amusing than
the main roster. That's what it is. Like, your people are missing out.
Amusing is probably not a good word. The matches are good.
They really are. I mean, they just killed it.
It's funny.
They killed it with Dragunov and Alexander Wolf this week. And I mean, like I said, the women's title match, every single match is going to deliver. You got a ladder match. You got Walter and Joe Coffey. You got a triple threat women's. You got Tyler Bate and Trent Seven and 2 singles matches. I'm going to say right now, I'm looking forward to, but out of the 2, I'm going to say Tyler Bate and Jordan Devlin's going to be better than Trent Seven and Eddie Dennis. That's no disrespect, but I just think that match will be better, and it's just to showcase Eddie Dennis. So, yeah, and his dominance. Well, Eddie Dennis is good, and like I said, the continuity of, he's trained with Mustache Mountain. They were his boys. He went to go be a teacher, and look at what they did. They were highlighted and pretty much are, the backbone in a way of the whole NXT UK brand. So, again, I love the continuity. Walter and Joe Coffey, it's a year in the making, so I'm down for it, man.
Ooh.
And what else can I say? Oh, I will talk about this just very briefly. Everybody's been laughing. The botch. So they have the match, and then Drew McIntyre leaves the ring, and the botch. They have the security tackle the guy who was the guy presiding over Bobby Lashley, over Bobby Lashley and Lana, and they didn't realize that the guy, I don't know if they didn't tell security, but it was hilarious. They attacked him like it was a fan going into the ring.
When it was going to break, you saw 3 people, like 2 people,
and they cut because
and all their feet were going up
and they cut and panned over because they thought it was a fan, but it wasn't a fan, and then they had to announce, oh, that's who was getting into the ring during the break. It's like, we're just going to ignore the fact. We're just going to ignore the fact that we tackled this poor guy because we thought he was a fan. It's like going back with Rob Gronkowski at WrestleMania when Mojo Rawley won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That female security did not know that Gronk was supposed to get involved in that match.
Well, she was doing her job.
Oh my goodness!
They didn't tell her.
But yeah, that was the funny part of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that was funny. It's like, what in the world? The 3 guys laying out in the ring, and feet are going everywhere, and
it was pretty funny. Now, I'm going to say this to you, last thing. NXT this week, we have Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Damian Priest, and Cameron Grimes, and the winner will receive a number 1 contendership, and then be the number 1 contender, and face Roderick Strong for the NXT North American Championship. Who you go with? Are you go with Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Damian Priest, or Cameron Grimes? Who do you want to see fight Roddy?
None of them.
Why?
I don't want.
I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
I've been enjoying Keith Lee. And the other matchup is just we got the start of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. We got Imperium against the Forgotten Sons. It's gonna be good, but you know Imperium's winning that match.
Yeah, I like the other one better.
Well, Forgotten Sons are heels.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't care about that. No, what's the other match that's got everybody I like against everybody else I like?
Imperium? What are you talking about?
The Undisputed Era.
Against Imperium. That's it. What's collide?
Okay, isn't it Mustache Mountain and...
What?
And Pete... No. The other, Matt Riddle.
Oh, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, yeah. Against Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster.
Yeah, I like all of them, so I don't know.
Well, that's one of in the brackets for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which I'm looking forward to seeing. So we have that coming and starting, and Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can say. We run through everything. We're not talking about Lars Sullivan just because. Just no.
Well, you just mentioned.
Well, I'm going to say it.
God, we're not going to talk about Lars. Is what you told me.
But it's just yeah. The friggin' Mitch Bennett there. Good God,
who's Mitch Bennett?
That was his name when he did those films. So.
Oh.
Good Lord, Lars Sullivan.
I thought he was. Isn't he supposedly stage fright? He didn't want
whatever.
Didn't have stage fright.
I don't care. I hate it. I don't care. And what gets me about that though is he was a guy that back in the day said some homophobic remarks about gay people, and then this shit comes out, which is why it's so funny and ironic. So, yeah. And that will conclude, I guess, the week of wrestling and the NXT UK Blackpool 2 predictions.
But you must turn around and say there's nothing wrong if he is whatever.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just
he was making bad comments about it, and then it turns out he's doing these.
That was from a while ago, but still, it was just shit that comes out, man. So, yeah, that'll conclude our look at this week in wrestling and our Blackpool 2 predictions. For those that are watching on the network, enjoy.
I didn't say one curse word, and all you're doing is sitting there cursing.
Oh, it happens. Because you get bowed up with this stuff.
You get bowed up?
I get bowed up.
I don't.
Well,
yeah, I do. You know me, I do.
Well,
I won't watch something. I'm not watching it.
That's what you do. I mean, hell, that's why we haven't done this in about a year now.
I'm not watching it. Nope.
But for those that do it, check out NXT UK Blackpool 2 this Sunday, 12 noon on the network here in the States, 5 p.m. UK time. Enjoy it. It's going to be a hell of a
check it out, really.
You should. Back in Blackpool, second year in a row. Main evented by Walter and Joe Coffey. If last year was any indication of what you got, and we got to see the appearance of Finn Balor and a whole bunch of great matches where the Grizzled Young Veterans became the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions, beating Mustache Mountain. So that whole night was great. This night will be great. So check out NXT UK. I know. Check NXT UK. If you haven't, you should. On Thursdays in the afternoon, our time, which is 3 p.m., 4 p.m. our time, which is 8, 9 p.m. in the UK. You should. Because if you're not, what are you doing? Well, they moved it to Thursdays.
Yeah.
Because NXT is on Wednesdays. So they had to move. They moved NXT UK over to Thursday. So check it out Thursdays on the WWE Network. And that'll conclude the show, man. So before we close out, check me out. Twitter, at SMShow1, MCL92, StephenMikeShow.com. Check out LFC Podcast that I host for Lingerie Fighting Championships. Beauty, strength, and dominance, the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are. We're up to 31 episodes of that. Check it out on SoundCloud.com/LFC. Twitter at Lingerie FC, LFCMA on the Instagram. LingerieFC.com, YouTube, Facebook. We're on Stitcher. We're on TuneIn Radio. We're on Anchor.fm. We are on pretty much almost everything. Breaker, Pocket Cast, whatever those are. Podbean, Spotify. Check it out. Beauty, Strength, and Dominance. And just check out all the shows that we're doing. Check out Max Wrestling. Check out Bodega with myself and Jorge. And just check out whatever the hell I'm on, because I love what I do. And there's going to be a lot of great content coming. So for you, my mommy, we know it's been a while. For Twitter, I promote your Twitter.
You can follow me at Rapture116.
You can follow her at Rapture116. One take. There you go.
Oh, so, I did it.
Exactly. It's going to be a little short. I know we discussed the news, but again, we only had 5 matches to discuss. So the next prediction show you will get from me is my girl Nicola and I will be talking about Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill, which is actually on the same day as NXT UK Takeover. That'll be on 8 p.m. on
but you gotta pay for that.
Live on pay-per-view. And it's headlined by Sami Callihan defending the Impact World Heavyweight Championship against Tessa Blanchard. Possibly making history, people. First ever female World Heavyweight Champion. What are your thoughts? Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah.
No, you're not into that. You don't like the history about it. What is it?
No, I'm just not into it. Sorry.
That's all right. No, fair. That's fair. That's very honest. I mean, like I said, that card, I'll be honest, is kind of eh. But we'll be discussing that tomorrow with I'll be discussing that tomorrow with Nicola. You guys can hear our thoughts about Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill live from Dallas, Texas. Yeah. So, And then lastly, I'll just say thank you all for listening. I know it's been a while. I hope you enjoyed. We gave a lot of great insight about the backstory, even though you just want to say who you think will wins, because we do have...
Why don't you just say you gave a lot of... I didn't get to say much of anything except listen to you, as always.
You give one-word answers.
I don't give one-word answers. I wasn't given an opportunity to talk.
I gave you the opportunity to talk.
And I'm not going to say this. And then after you asked me to say something, you've already said it all, so what can I say?
Okay, well, you did say who you wanted to win. I know who you wanted to win.
Well, there you go. So that's... What else could I say?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Say something.
I can't say anything.
Why?
Because you're always saying everything.
Well, say something then.
I can't because you say everything I'm going to say.
Well, we agree on a lot of the same stuff.
Well, so...
It happens.
Yeah.
We like a lot of the same stuff. We agree.
So why don't you just have a show with yourself?
Shut up.
No.
Yes.
I'm saying something now.
So for NXT UK Blackpool 2 predictions, my name is Mike Larkin. For my mom, we'll be back possibly. I'm not guaranteeing it yet.
If he lets me say anything,
we'll be back for When Worlds Collide is the plan for January 25th.
I don't have too much to say anyway.
Why?
Because you say everything.
Well, we could talk about how you really feel about Kaylee Ray if you want to go there.
No, I don't think so. You told me not to say it.
You could say it. Just go ahead and say it.
No, you didn't tell me.
No, just say it. No, you could say it.
I don't think she looks well. That's it.
All right.
I'm not saying... Don't you dare. I'm not saying nothing about that. You told me not to say it.
I'm going to say this right now. If anybody wants to know what she thinks about Kaylee Ray, just message me and I'll tell you. Because it's funny.
That's about it.
I'll give you a hint. And you know why the hint comes? Here's a wrestling terms. Here's a wrestling analogy here. I'll give you a hint. It's what the people at Ring of Honor used to chant at Lacey. That's all I'm going to say for those that are old school Ring of Honor fans. That's what my mom thinks about Kaylee Ray. So there's the hint. If you want to know what it is, you can just ask me. You'll laugh for this woman here because she's very blunt in her ways.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. So for my mom, my name is Mike Larkin. Hope you enjoyed. Gave you a lot of nice review. Gave you a nice little predicciones of NXT UK Blackpool 2. Enjoy the show Sunday, guys.
Yeah, watch it.
Do it.
Peace out.
Peace out, because if you don't, then what the hell's wrong with you? It's good wrestling.
Not nice.
Don't be stupid.
That's not nice either.
Just kidding. So, guys, we're out. I'm out. We out right. No diggity.
Right.
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 Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We out.
Mm-hmm. Say something. I'm giving you the last word.
You never do.
I'm giving it to you now. Go. What are you, Patrick and SpongeBob? All have
Peace out.
You know I can't stop. You're dragging me in. The water's getting deeper, and you know I can't swim. I'm never on top. The struggle won't end. I'm gonna hit the bottom, and it's under my skin. I'm just another lost soul imposter, living like a monster, praying you don't ruin my life. I didn't know that you were so dark inside. Dark inside.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Prediction Show. We are talking about this Sunday's Hard to Kill, presented by Impact Wrestling, live from Dallas, Texas. Main evented by Sami Callihan versus Tessa Blanchard for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. And we have a lot to cover in this show, but I am not alone. As always, I am joined by my girl, Miss Nicola Macdonald. Nicola, it's always a pleasure. How you doing today?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me as always. How are you doing?
I am okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We have a hell of a night coming from both, from January 12th, this Sunday, from both Impact Wrestling, and I'm going to say this. If you're a professional wrestling fan, and if the WWE main roster, now I'm saying Raw and SmackDown here, just pisses you off and just says, man, why am I watching this garbage? Tune into NXT or NXT UK. NXT UK, we got Blackpool 2 headlined by Walter, the Ring General, and the Iron King Joe Coffey for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. A bout that's really a year in the making. There's a lot of continuity there and a lot of great matches on there. A fatal 4-way ladder match, a great triple threat match with Kaylee Ray, Toni Storm, and Piper Niven for the Women's Championship. So top to bottom, that's going to be good in the afternoon on the network. That's at noon our time, 5 p.m. UK time. You can go back and listen to the show I did with my mom recently for that NXT UK pay-per-view. And now I'm here with you, Nicola, because when we talk about Hard to Kill, we're talking about Impact Wrestling. We're talking about Sami Callihan and Tessa Blanchard. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to get into, and I'll ask you about the Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard stuff in a sec when we get towards the main event. But I got to first and foremost ask you, are you looking forward to Hard to Kill?
I am. I'm really excited. The card looks really, really exciting. So, yeah, I can't wait. And I will be watching as well. So, yeah, bring it on. This is going to be exciting. There's been quite a lot of build-up to this one as well. So that's different to see, I guess. But, yeah, can't wait. Very excited.
And I could just say, as far as Impact Wrestling news goes, it's kind of been died down. We haven't really been hearing a lot. We'll discuss a lot of stuff here. But one thing that we can say, Chris Levin, a.k.a. Kid Ref, is done with Impact Wrestling. You know, he's taken himself elsewhere for as far as he was the referee. He did his thing. He did a great job there, but he decided to move on to some other stuff. Maybe he'll do indies. We don't know where Chris Levin will be going. But, yeah, Kid Ref, the beloved Kid Ref that everybody loves, is done with Impact Wrestling.
I know. That was a bit of a shock. I didn't expect to see that, actually, because normally he was pretty good as well, but he did take a slap every now and then, which was always fun to watch, because I'm always laughing when the ref gets slapped by one of the wrestlers. That is one of my favourite things to watch. So, yeah, no, that's good luck to him wherever he goes. At the end of the day, I'm happy for him.
Of course,
Of
course. Well, and I think he has a very slappable face. I will say that right now. He does
definitely.
He does look like a 12-year-old. But for me, I guess the nostalgia factor that always cracked me up about Kid Ref is like his T-shirt was like the Nickelodeon logo and it said Kid Ref because he does look 12 and it's nostalgia. When you think of Nickelodeon, you think of the orange, you think of the slime, you think of just the old logo. So I dig it. I get it. I'm a '90s kid. I love it. So. I
am too. Well, no, I'm not. I was born in '85, so I grew up in the night. Does that count? But I know what Nickelodeon is because I watched it as well. So yeah.
Well, Nickelodeon's been around for a long time, so yes, that would count, Miss Nicola Macdonald.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop indeed. So my goodness, but yeah, now let's hop right into Hard to Kill. Let's see where we start with this, Miss Nicola Macdonald, because all right, I'm gonna say this right now. As I'm looking at this card, I'm probably going to do Eddie Edwards and Michael Elgin and Sami and Tessa kind of like tied in together because there's a lot that we're going to cover there. But first and foremost, let's start off with the Spear versus the Gore. It's Moose going one-on-one with Rhino. I don't want to say I don't care about this match, because I do. I think this match is going to be better than the Ken Shamrock match that Moose had at Bound for Glory. But it's like, it was only like a couple of weeks build. It's like Moosen's coming out of the elevator, he's arguing with Rhino who has the better move, and then Rhino gores the Moose, and then Moose tries to no jackhammer needed spear onto Rhino, and then they brawl, and I know they just had the tag match this past week on Impact Wrestling with Cage and Rhino against Moose and RVD. But you know what it is with Moose? Like, we've seen him, like, beat people up at basketball courts and golf courses and stuff, trying to act like he's the shit. He's the best, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Impact Wrestling, if you will. But I'm just kind of like, what are we doing here? Because he beats Rob Van Dam, he beats Ken Shamrock. Is this just like the thing? He's going to take out all the legends. And Rhino being Rhino, ECW champion, former WWE Tag Team champion. I mean, he's a guy very established in the business. So, again, I like Ken Shamrock too, and I'm not trying to disparage Ken Shamrock, which we'll get to Ken in the next match here, but that match with Moose, he had a couple nice spots in it, but the match at Bound for Glory was kind of I'm thinking this one's going to be a lot better. It's just the only problem that I have with this feud. It's like, it kind of just came out of nowhere. It's only been like a couple weeks, and it's like, we get it. They both do spears. And, Spear versus Gore. In this particular instance, I think this is another case of Moose going over the veterans, so I am picking Moose. No jackhammer needed, 1, 2, 3 to get the win over Rhino. Thoughts on the Moose and Rhino feud, and who you picking, Nicola?
I'm the same as you because it come out of nowhere, and like you said, it does seem to be that Moose is trying to go for the legends, which obviously, is fair enough. He has surprised me though, because every time we've predicted Moose, like you said, versus Ken Shamrock, Moose won, so he's been surprising me a lot, actually. But yeah, he does like to appear, like you said, at different places and calls out. But there isn't a big enough build-up for this match yet. It needs to be a bit more, if you know what I mean. There needs to be more tension with it. So, but I love Rhino because obviously, as you said, he's a legend, and I've watched him for a very long time. So, yeah, but even though I do respect the hell out of him, I'm going with Moose this time because he seems to be having this little trail of he's just knocking them down. I like pinballs, and like in bowling, he's like just knocking them down like they're a bunch of Skittles. So, yeah, Moose, definitely.
Now after that, I'll want to go play some bowling, go down to the bowling alley. Hell, if you got the old Wii bowling, just do your little little controller Wii bowling on that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got the strike. That's what you're saying. You're striking them. I see what you did there. Maybe a little turkey, maybe a little this. All these bowling terms. Yes, I'm saying bowling terms there, but yeah. So, Moose. Moose for the win. I agree on that. Well, here's the tie-in and correlation that we have within this next match, Nicola. It's the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, versus Madman Fulton, the monster of OVE. This is also kind of another one that kind of came out of nowhere. It's like Sami Callihan had the match with Ken Shamrock, and then Madman Fulton injures Ken Shamrock's ribs and beats him up, and then it's like, oh, here at Hard to Kill, we're going to get Ken Shamrock versus Madman Fulton. And I'm just like, okay, that's nice. I don't mean to laugh, and I'm not making fun of this, but I'm like, this is another one that just came out of nowhere, and I like Ken Shamrock. I mean, he beat up Joey Ryan, he beat up Johnny Swinger, but it's just like, okay, like, we're going to get him against Madman Fulton. I'm going to say this right now. I think Ken, being the veteran that he is, this is the position where he's going to put over the monster. Now, I've seen followed Madman Fulton since NXT. He was Sawyer Fulton in NXT. For a brief period of time, he teamed with Angelo Dawkins, who's now part of the Street Profits in WWE. He was a part of the original Sanity. It was Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, Nikki Cross, and Sawyer Fulton. But then when Sawyer Fulton got released, they put in Killian Dane, who's great, Big Damo, ICW, who's been in Impact Wrestling before, and who was actually Nikki Cross's real life husband. So Killian Dane is... So, for those who are not familiar with Sanity, Sawyer Fulton was the original one before Killian Dane got into Sanity in NXT. So, and then now he's Madman Fulton. He has that relationship with the Ohio versus Everything with Sami Callihan, Dave and Jake Christ, and now they're building him as this monster. So, I'm going to say this right now. I don't know if the match is going to be I think Ken's going to do his thing. Maybe throw a little belly to belly, put a little ankle lock, do the Ken Shamrock repertoire that he does from an MMA and pro wrestling standpoint. But in this particular match, I'm going to go with the veteran is going to do the honors for the youngin', and I'm going to say Madman Fulton gets the big win over Ken Shamrock. So I'm going with the monster. That is Madman Fulton. Your thoughts on Ken Shamrock and Mad Fulton, the feud, which I just described there, Nicola, and who are you picking?
Right, one I'm going to say about Ken Shamrock, the best thing I saw was him beat the crap out of Joey Ryan. That made me smile. Anyone that can beat that dude up makes me laugh because, he's such a sleazeball. But anyway, we're not talking about Joey Ryan, are we? So, yeah, no, I'm the same as you. Where did this match come from? It was like, oh, you know what? We'll just pick two random people to fight each other. But there's no backstory, if you know what I mean. Like with every other match, there's a reason, there's been a build-up. With this, obviously, I'm a huge fan of Madman Fulton, and we all know how I like monsters and all of that kind of stuff. That kind of rolls with me very well. But he's indestructible. I've always liked Fulton. He is mad in the ring. He just doesn't care who you are. You're going over the top ring or you're landing on the floor, or he's brutal. So I'm with you. But obviously Shamrock is another huge, huge legend, and he's another false not spirit. So I think this is going to be a very, even though it seems to have come out of nowhere, I think it's going to be a very strong match between both of them. I think you're going to see blood. Yeah, we like blood, but yeah, anyway. We think we're going to see a lot of blood with that, but I am going with Madman Fulton, the monster.
You know what it is, too? Like we mentioned, like with Moose and Rhino, like I said, it kind of just felt like it came out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay, he injured his ribs, and now here's the match. The thing with, and I'll be honest with you, like we mentioned, like the Moose Ken Shamrock match I wasn't, like, fond of, but This was the build from the Twitter exchange, and you saw them go at it on Impact and at the press conference, and you saw Moose destroy Ken Shamrock's gym, Syndicate MMA. So there's build to it. This is just, again, it's kind of like a throwaway, but I think this is also a position for Madman Fulton to show his skills, and that's why I like you. Yep. It's time for the youngin to get the win over the veteran. So Madman Fulton, you and I are both 2 for 2 on who we agree with on our predicciones here, but we may see some changes here because we are going into the next matchup. All right, I'll do this one. Brian Cage versus Rob Van Dam in what has been dubbed a dream match. This is another one that kind of just came out of left field because it's like Brian Cage is doing an interview with Jimmy Jacobs, and then Rob Van Dam is making out with his girl Katie Forbes, which, can you blame the man? My goodness. I digress. But
Rob Van Dam can't keep his hands to himself. That's what his problem is, bless him.
Well, can you blame him? He's got the beautiful bombshell that is Katie Forbes. I mean, wow, women of wrestling.
Exactly.
Hey.
What is that about? She cleans his trainers for him and everything from what I've seen online or a video. I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
Hey, man, if I was just to say something right there, I'd channel my inner country there. Honk it tonk, but donk it donk. Hello, Katie Forbes. But no,
yeehaw.
Yeehaw indeed, but yeah, yeehaw, nice. A beautiful woman, you got Katie Forbes. And that's the thing, here's the thing a lot of people don't see. They just see, that the twerkiness, and I mean, people saw it at United We Stand, and we've seen, the girl can wrestle. She's got skills. So, and we saw her against Jordan Grace. She's got skills. I look forward to seeing what she also does for the Knockouts division with Katie Forbes.
I was wondering that, because obviously we've only seen kind of, obviously, with Rob Van Dam turning heel or whatever, you've only seen her really when, no offence, her bum's around or he's in a hot tub, or, do you know what I mean? So it's like, I want to see her in the ring, not hover, even though I'm obviously not married and I love them both reality, but at the same point, I'm like, put her in the ring. She's a wrestler, is she not?
She is, but also as the valet, you gotta look. She comes out, she does her sexy thing, she's twerking, she's channeling her inner Miley Cyrus. We can't stop, we won't stop. Twerking it, baby. So, I mean, doing the damn thing. So, I mean, she's great as his valet, and obviously it plays on the fact that they are together in real life, so I kind of like that as well. And it adds something to Rob Van Dam's new heel persona. I mean, this really kind of got started because I think the only build I remember for this is Brian Cage is doing the interview, and Rob Van Dam interrupts, making out with Katie Forbes, and then Rob Van Dam beats up Brian Cage. He doesn't go the Van Terminator route because he's a heel. He's not going to give the people what he wants, but he drop kicks the chair into Brian Cage's face, and he pretty much called Brian Cage one of the biggest marks ever. You stole my moves. Everybody's being inspired by Rob Van Dam, but there's only one Rob Van Dam. So with this particular dream match, and with Rob Van Dam's new heel persona, I could see this being like this continues. And I know Brian Cage has lost his last two. I mean, the man's lost to Sami Callihan. He's lost to Tessa Blanchard in the Gauntlet. And I believe he's going to lose here. I'm going to say this, it would be a hell of a thing if, for Brian Cage to beat Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam's a legend, but I think this is more continuance with this feud. I don't think this is just a one-off. So I'm going to say Rob Van Dam, through some chicanery, maybe through some help from Katie Forbes, we're going to see Rob Van Dam hit that 5-star frog splash 1, 2, 3 on Brian Cage, and he gets the win. I'm going to say Rob Van Dam via shenanigans. Now you, Rob Van Dam, Brian Cage, the feud, and who you picking?
Right, well, obviously, everyone knows I'm a Rob Van Dam fan, heel or not. But I am going to say Brian Cage because I'm looking at it from his point of view, because if someone, as we know, upsets his wife, like Sammy did when they got married and all of that stuff, he went apeshit. So seeing someone else making out with his wife, there might be a different energy in him, or bigger force that's like pushing him further to push himself a bit more. So I actually reckon Brian Cage is going to destroy Rob Van Dam. Yes, I agree, there will be interference. There always is. But at the same point, yeah, I could see Cage, or the Terminator, as everyone calls him, destroying Rob Van Dam. Well, that's what I want to see. So, yeah, I've gone a different way with that one this time. We're not in agreement this one. Every other one we have been, not this one.
Well, that's true. I mean, I look at it like, Brian Cage, what we saw how he protected Melissa Santos during the Sami Callihan feud. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know, because since Brian Cage is out of the world title picture, I don't mind seeing a series of matches with him and Rob Van Dam. But all right, well, we'll differ on this. I'll go with the whole effing show, and you'll go with the machine. Mr. Get My Shit In, Mr. Brian Cage. So, Mr. GMSI, if you will. So, All right, we'll move
Hell
on.
yeah.
Hell yes. We'll move on to the next matchup. All right, those three are done. All right, we'll go to this one next, and then this is one of the first of 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just had to count there. I had a brain fart. First of 4 championship matches on the show.
What?
Yeah, 4. There we go. Got to count. 1, 2, 3. I'm like to count. Sesame Street, baby. All right, so we got Impact World Tag Team.
Count. What? You're the Count. What's his name? The vampire. Is that what you're doing? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
that one.
that count. Yeah, Sesame Street, baby. Exactly.
Yeah, I used to watch Sesame Street.
Right. 1, 2,
Big Bird
3.
terrified me.
Really?
Just saying.
Are you serious? Big Bird terrified you? I didn't know that.
No.
I was about, well, he's a big son of a bitch. I mean, he's a very opposing force, Mr. Big Bird, just walking around all chilling. Look at me, I'm yellow. Hey. That's like
Mellow yellow.
Yeah, well, they call me Mellow Yellow, but no, I mean it's kind of like you would kind of be terrified. Like it's like that scene in the Muppet movie where they're driving, and then you see Big Bird walking down the road, and it's like what?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
oh, dude, we've done it again. We're doing that giggling thing.
It's what makes this fun. So here we go. Tag titles are on the line. The North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Willie Mack coming off that injury that we saw take place on the Gauntlet. Willie Mack kind of, doubting himself, selling himself short, and Rich Swann telling him not to do that. And we've seen the North getting in Willie Mack's head talking about, Rich Swann's getting a shine and you're just in like the back seat or whatever. And they're pretty much trying to have dissension. They're trying to, break up the friendship of Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Now, a lot of people are thinking that we are going to see that Willie Mack turn on Rich Swann and we're going to get a feud between these two. I agree with that. I'm going to say the North wins here. I think there's going to be dissension. I don't know if the turn's going to happen here, but I don't see Rich Swann and Willie Mack taking the titles. I think the North are going to continue being the heels that they are, and we're going to see a lot of great matches from them in the tag team division. So as of right now, I'm going to go with the North to retain through some dissension in the rankings, maybe a little miscommunication with Rich Swann and Willie Mack, but I don't know if the heel turn is going to take place here. So that's my pick. I'm going with the North. You, thoughts, North, Rich Swann and Willie Mack, who you picking? What do you think about the feud?
Sorry. I'm kind of the same as you with this because I think that the North, I used to dislike them and it's been known that I'm not a fan of either. But on that, they've still got the title belts and they proved me wrong over and over and over again. But with the Willie Mack thing and the Rich Swann, I do think they are building up to a few because they have been since Willie Mack came in. And I mean, they've tried up 10 times with different versions to kind of break them up in a way, but they always seem to come back as a team. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I do think the North's going to win, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that Willie Mack's doubting himself. I know it's part of his, like obviously what he's going through and obviously his injury, but I don't know. I'd like to see them two win, but I can't see it happening because the North are just, top tag team at the minute, aren't they? So, yeah, I'm with the North on that one. Even though I prefer Willie Mack and Rich Swann, I'm going to go with the North.
Yeah, you know what it is, too? Like, they're just on such a hot streak that I'm like, you can't take the titles off of that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. No, they got where they got to because they won, even if there was a little whatever. But they are doing really well, and they keep every week impressing me every time I see them. Now, I'm obviously, like I said, not a huge fan of either one, but doesn't mean they ain't good. They aren't good wrestlers because they are. They're defeating everything that gets in their way. So, but I would like to see maybe them, Willie Mack and Rich Swann, but no, it'll be the North. That's what it's going to be. So we agree again. The North.
You know what it is, too? I look at it for me, like, you got walking weapon Josh Alexander and all ego Ethan Page. Like, when Ethan Page first came into Impact as Chandler Park, the cousin...
I remember that.
The cousin of Joseph Park Esquire. I'm just like... And I've seen this guy on the indies before, and I'm like, why are we doing this to Ethan Page? And then he came back from that. Like, Chandler Park was very brief, and now he's back. He was with Matt Sydal, who is no longer with the company. And now here he is doing his thing with Josh Alexander, who was his longtime tag partner. So I got to say, it all kind of comes full circle for Ethan Page.
I think the only reason I didn't like Ethan, I went off of Ethan Page when he was obviously the nephew of or Abyss's, well, yeah, that.
Yeah, his cousin.
Joe Park, sorry. I keep forgetting. It's such a long time since anyone mentions Abyss, but yeah, it's quite weird saying that name at the minute. I didn't like him as Ethan Page. I didn't like him as that. But then he went on with Matt Sydal, and that's when the dislike came. And then it stuck. But obviously now he's not. There's his tag team. I still dislike him, but he's growing on me, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I agree. And like I said, that match is going to be really, really good for the tag titles. Next matchup, we'll actually do another championship matchup. We got about 3 more to go after this, as I'm looking at the card. Again, brain farts. Taya Valkyrie.
That's what I was laughing at. That's what you said, right?
That's what happens, man. It all blends together after a while. It's like, jeez. 3-way match, knockouts title on the line. La Huera Loca, 1 year as champion, longest reigning as of right now, champion with the knockouts. Taya Valkyrie against Jordynne Grace and against the legendary ODB. Bam!
Bam! I love that woman. Sorry.
That's all good, but no, I mean, I look at it like this, with her truck unfortunately burning down and Impact helping her with that, and she gets the victory over Taya, and then she gets inserted into this match. And then we saw the dissension with her and Jordynne Grace this past weekend, the 6-woman tag, and she tagged in and pinned Taya Valkyrie again, and her and Jordynne Grace going at it. I think this is a case where, I'm going to say this right now, and we'll talk about Taya in a sec, because there's a lot to talk about with Taya Valkyrie. I don't think Jordynne Grace is going to get it here. I think the only reason also why ODB is in this match is to take the pin. So I'm going to go with La Huera Loca, Taya Valkyrie to retain the Knockouts Championship match. I'm going to add something else with Taya after we're done with this prediction. But your thoughts on this triple threat and who you picking? Taya, Jordynne Grace, or ODB, Nicola?
See, when I saw ODB come back, I was ecstatic, and I always am, because when I first started, obviously, watching Impact, there was her, the Beautiful People, loads of others, obviously, but her, she stuck out really well to me, so obviously I've always been a huge, huge, huge fan, and I was lucky when they come to the UK, I got to see her live in Impact, and it was awesome, so I was like a teenager screaming at her, not that she could see me, but yeah, anyway. I absolutely love that woman, and like you said, it was really unfortunate that her truck burnt down and whatever, and Impact are helping her, which they get my respect on that one without a doubt, because she's an old legend. She is literally one of the originals, so that's quite exciting. I've loved the build-up between Taya and Jordan, though, so I do kind of am confused on why they put ODB in there with them, but I can understand, because obviously she beat her, but I'd love to see her pin both of them. But I'm looking at another side. I want to see Jordynne Grace as champ as well. So I am stuck in between all of them. But then Taya's been a champ for a year now. So it's like, can anyone actually take that belt off of her?
I also look at it like, with Taya Valkyrie, I think the reason why I'm saying she pins ODB is because she's talking about being one of the best knockouts. And what a better way than beating someone who's a former 4-time champ and ODB.
True.
So, and also there's the other factor here. As you know, a certain someone who her husband is by the name of John Morrison has gone back. Hey, he's a great wrestler. Stop it. I know you don't like the character.
No, I'm joking. I love him really. I got told off because I'd said boo or whatever.
How
but
dare
I actually
you?
do respect him as a human being.
How dare you boo him? How dare you boo John Morrison? How dare you, Nicola?
Yeah. Exactly, right? I was like, I've heard other people say worse than what I say, but you know what? Yeah, no, that was only an Impact. But I did actually, when he first came in, was a huge fan, and I am still, but the way he left and all of that crap, yeah, no. So, but no, I won't boo him. That was the last boo he will ever get out of me. So I do actually like him as a wrestler. He's very talented. And he's got some amazing kicks on him. But anyway, that's not the point.
Hey,
Carry
man,
on.
It's the parkour, man. And when you talk about John Morrison, he's back in WWE. It looks like they're putting J-Mo and Miz, John Morrison and the Miz back together. I'm like, goodness gracious. First and foremost, I'm looking forward to it because one of the things that cracked me up, obviously the dirt sheet. You got Misfits and Mofos because that was Miz's fans at the time, the Misfits, and John Morrison's fans were the Mofos. So you get to put those two back together for just fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do against the New Day, Kofi and Big E. But here's the thing with this is also where we tie in and correlate with Taya. I could see her losing to Jordynne Grace on an episode of Impact or maybe the next pay-per-view. I definitely see her possibly in WWE by maybe next month or maybe around WrestleMania time because NXT TakeOver has their show in Portland on a Sunday. I mean, and how cool would that be? Because they like to show people in the crowd. Then you see Taya Valkyrie in NXT. You see her in the crowd. She goes to NXT. There's matches she could have with Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, and so many talents in NXT UK. And I know some people are like, oh, well, don't have her go to WWE. They'll ruin her. But I'm like, what else can this woman do in Impact Wrestling? She's fought everybody. Like Rosemary, Allie, Tessa Blanchard. She's gone through everybody. Like, what else is there for her to do? And her husband is there. So, I mean, it's a great fit. I think she'd do well. And you could have her wrestle out of town from NXT UK. So, there's a lot of stuff and new challenges for her. And personally, I know she was in developmental back in, like, the early 2010s there. But then again, that was a different time period. And now she's grown as a performer from her time in AAA, Lucha Underground, and Impact Wrestling all in all. So, I mean, I think she'd do well in NXT. So, I got to ask you, do you see Taya being with her husband, John Morrison, there in WWE on the NXT brand, possibly in the next few months?
Yeah, I do, because I think it's like a trend. If you're married and you're on Impact, it does seem to be that they follow kind of thing. In a way, it's like a trend. Oh, that's how it comes across sometimes. But yeah, I do see her leaving Impact, and I do see her going elsewhere. But then again, she's not the only one I can see leaving, but that's for another day anyway. But yeah, I do see her ending up there with him, yeah. I do, but like you said, she's gone through everyone now, and if no one can defeat her, then she's just going to be, well, you know what, okay, well, I might go somewhere else and see if I can get beaten elsewhere.
Or it's just like, how many times are we going to do this storyline? Like, she's fought Jordynne Grace before, and I think the ultimate payoff is for her to finally be the one to beat Taya Valkyrie. So, I mean, I think we're going to see that, but I don't see it happening here at Hard to Kill. I think just the reason ODB's in the match is to take the pin, so we'll go well up.
I'm still mad the fact that Rosemary didn't get her rematch. That is still pissing me off. Still. And I don't know why. I know it's because I'm a huge fan of hers, but at the same time, she should have been given that option, and she wasn't. And I have no clue exactly what they're doing with her right now, but that's for another day as well, so yeah.
Well, no, it's fine. Right now we have the feud with Havoc and Susie there, and I think we're going to get, Su Yung against Jessica Havoc or something to do with Rosemary involved. I don't know what they're doing. I'm intrigued with the Susie character, and I know Havoc just...
I love Susie. It's really cool because I love the fact that you've got, like, James Mitchell trying to convince her that she's obviously the undead bride, and you've got Rosemary tampering around as well. That is quite funny. Not funny, but good to watch, if you know what I mean. It's different from, like, Undead Realm and...
Well,
it's kind of moved on since the Ali thing, and I am loving the fact that she's human.
And also,
I'm going to say this, she's cute.
She is.
As a human, she's very cute.
She is very cute.
I saw a picture, I was like, she looked at my other half, I went, Dave, look at her, and he was like, she's bloody cute. I was like, oh, we agree on something. All right, that's good.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people realize that, don't realize, like, under all that makeup, that's a beautiful and cute girl right there. You know what I'm saying? Rich Swann, you lucky man. So, I mean, it's also kind of like you're doing the thing where Havoc beat Rosemary, and, she doesn't like loud noises. We saw that scream when Havoc and Rosemary were brawling backstage. So, I mean, I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Unfortunately, it's not on this card, but that is one of the storylines that is intriguing me right now with Impact Wrestling.
Yeah. No, the same, because obviously I was like, is they going to do anything with the three of them, or is it just going to carry on with that story? But, yeah, like you said, with the scream and her, yeah. I'm really, it's interesting. Put it this way, it's very inspirational.
Yeah, I agree. So, we move on.
I was talking about them, didn't you?
Yes, you did. You got me. You got me on that.
I gotcha.
So, we move on. We're going to get to the Eddie Edwards and Michael Elgin. We're going to tie that in with Sammy and Tessa in a second. But we have another title match to discuss. As the Ace Austin 316 says, I just banged your mom. defends the X Division Championship against Trey Miguel of the Rascals. And Trey Miguel's mother is played by none other than Shelly West, the VP Global Partnerships for Impact Wrestling. Shelly West has been doing a great job as the role of Trey's mom. It kind of has like that old school feel to it. She's kind of like one of those like June Cleaver. Yes. So she's like one of those June Cleaver, like Leave It to Beaver moms, which is cute. Like she kisses Trey on the forehead, so it's kind of cool. It's like every kid, you know, when they're embarrassed, like, oh, mom, when they kiss you on the forehead and the line. So I dig it. It's cool. And now we see the advances that Ace Austin is trying to make. You factor in the Rascals and Reno Scum in there. And this actually is going to be a real good match. Like, a lot of people, I would say, don't sleep on this because Trey Miguel, there's a reason why he's called the Fresh Prince of Midair. And then you have Ace Austin, who is, you know, the ace there. So, I mean, they're both very good wrestlers. Ace Austin, like, we'll get to how he annoys you, because he annoys me. He's a great heel. He's a great sleaze. But I think this is a case where we're probably going to see the mom get involved, or he's going to make advances. He's going to do something that's going to set Trey off, but I don't think Trey Miguel is going to win the title here. So I'm going to say Ace Austin, through sleazy, chicanery, and nefarious means, retains the X Division Championship against Trey Miguel. Who you going with? What do you think about the feud, and who you picking, Ace Austin or Trey Miguel?
Right, well, obviously I've said everyone knows I'm not a fan of his, but I'm not denying he is a bad wrestler, because he's not. He's far from it. He's absolutely crazy, and I respect him in that way. The whole thing with Trey's mum and everything, it is purely to get under his skin. I do want to know one thing, though. If he didn't have Reno Scum in his corner, what would he do? Would he be able to win without them interfering?
Yes.
Right, so that's one theory. And yes, I do think he's a big douche. I'm not going to lie. He is an arsehole. There we go, put it that way. But please excuse the fire alarm going off in my house. My bad. I'm not even cooking, but yeah, okay, never mind. It's all good. Anyway, sorry about that. I think I'd love to see Trey win, because he's a rascal and I love the Rascals. All three of them are epic, and I still want to invite into our penthouse. I still want to go in.
You want to go into the treehouse, Nicola?
Of course, yeah. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to go and hang out with them and sit there giggling at them on whatever else and smoking whatever they're smoking? But that's not the point either. But yeah, I'd love to see Trey with it. But like you said, it's okay. Sorry, Karis just came in to apologise for the smoke alarm.
First and foremost, we got to give a shout out and some love to Karis, Nicola's beautiful daughter. So you got to give...
She's, oh bless her, she's smiling. She won't say anything, but she's like, thank you. She's saying under her breath.
She's very welcome. You got a great daughter there. So much love to Karis. Now, with the love and family, inspired, encouraging, that's what we do with this show. That's what we do with all these shows. But smoke alarms thwarted there, and smoke weed every day with the Rascals. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. We get to see...
Hold on. There's one more who hasn't appeared yet, and you know you're waiting for that little voice to come in and go, hello. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Master Rafe.
Yes.
Little man. No, he's been good. Normally he comes running in when I'm talking to you, as you know, when we talk out of this. So, yeah.
Of course.
But he's being good. He's being very... Yeah, anyway, sorry, back to what we were talking about, my bad.
No problem, back to Impact Wrestling. There is a pay-per-view, good lord. No, but that's funny, I appreciate that. Once again, giving love to the family. We get back to the X Division Championship match. I'm picking Ace Austin. You did describe your thoughts on the feud, so we're just looking to get your prediction, Nicola. Ace Austin or Trey Miguel?
As much as I hate to say it, Ace Austin's going to win it, and I really don't want him to, but like you said, I don't think it's going to be now that Trey takes it. I think it's going to be after.
Okay.
If you know what I mean, to keep building up the stuff with his mum, and then he's going to lose his shit, and he's going to basically go mad, and I can see him doing it that way. You know what I mean? I think there's going to be more build-up to it, even after this. So, Trey will get his time, but just not this time.
All right, so we'll both be in agreement on that sleazy man that is Ace Austin with his stupid purple hair. We will.
If we started on that.
Oh, the purple hair. Anyway, we're going to move on to the last two matches. First and foremost, let's talk about Eddie Edwards versus Michael Elgin. I gotta say this, Michael Elgin, as we found on Impact, since he pinned Eddie Edwards in a one-on-one match, the Call Your Shot trophy is on the line. Eddie Edwards' Call Your Shot trophy, where he can get a shot at any title anytime he wants, is on the line. I see one of two scenarios here. Personally, I could see, well, this will tie into the main event when we get there in a sec. We got Eddie Edwards. He's the Call Your Shot trophy winner. I could see him, because they're talking about Michael Elgin's got his number. I could see Eddie Edwards winning. And then you know what I could see? I could see Sami Callihan retaining against Tessa Blanchard. Then you know what I could see? I could see Eddie Edwards, you put back the rivalry between him and Sami Callihan, cashes in the Call Your Shot trophy, and Eddie Edwards wins the World Heavyweight Championship. But then again, on the other hand, I can see Michael Elgin, beating Eddie Edwards, and then I can see Tessa Blanchard making history, becoming the first ever female World Heavyweight Champion. And then I can see Michael Elgin taking out Tessa Blanchard, and Michael Elgin walks out as the champ. So there's a lot of scenarios here, and we'll get to the main event in a second with this. But who you going with? I'll be honest with you. I like the first scenario because Michael Elgin's been having his number. I can see Eddie Edwards winning this. So I'm going to go on a limb and pick Eddie Edwards. Who you going with?
I'm going to agree with you 100% there because I liked all the scenarios you said, barring the Michael versus Tessa, but we'll get to that part anyway. But I'm with you, Eddie Edwards, because his character is still batshit crazy, and I love his character. It just makes me laugh. So I'm going with Eddie Edwards. So yeah, same as you, 100% agree with everything you just said.
And I mean, there also could be the situation since Ace Austin is still... But, I would think he would want... I like the Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan idea. I think the back nine of that I can see is because Ace Austin was, feuding with Alicia Edwards. I can see Eddie just going after Ace Austin. But I'm leaning more towards the Eddie-Sami feud, but we'll see. Which actually brings us to the main event. Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard, World Heavyweight title on the line. I'm going to say this. If nobody saw the piece that they just did on Impact Wrestling show with Tessa Blanchard with her family, with Magnum TA, which is how she got into wrestling. Saw that. Okay? And then you see Sami Callihan talking about his parents, and the wrestlers wrestling has become his family. You're fine. Wrestling has become his family. My parents both died when I was in 20s. I had no one. So you kind of enjoy just like the story that they told and how pretty much that he's going to fucking tear her apart, as he said. And the thing, he's going to break her down. Tessa Blanchard's going to take care of that vile human being, Sami Callihan. I've enjoyed the Slammiversary matches. I've enjoyed their matches that they've done. I know Sammy's beaten her twice already. I'm kind of been digging this. I think we're going to go the route because I think they want to make history. I'm going to say Tessa Blanchard finally gets it for the world title here. Like I said, then that would mean I would say Michael Elgin. It's the scenarios, like I said. Tessa wins, Michael Elgin takes her out, Sammy wins, Eddie takes him out. So there's a lot of possible scenarios there, but let's say those scenarios don't happen. I'm going to go with the feel-good ending, and I'm going to say Tessa Blanchard makes history, the first ever female World Heavyweight Champion. Tessa's been killing it all year. You're going to get another great matchup between these two. Your thoughts on the whole thing and who you picking?
I have loved the whole feud, the whole time, and every time we predicted and there's a match between them two, I've always said Tessa, and I am still going to stay Tessa because, one, the same as you, I want to see a female as world champion. That would be epic. It'd make history. It would be amazing. But for some reason, every time Sammy's beat her, and I saw the video that you was just talking about, the same thing, and the weird thing is, that they've got a lot of respect for each other backstage anyway, no matter what, when they're feuding or whatever. So, in my mind, I love Sammy, even though he is a disgusting arsehole, but at the same time, you can't fault him in the ring, but he's awesome all the same. But, I want to see Tessa just purely to see a female champion. I'll say it again. I don't have problems with intergender. We all know my views on that. It does not faze me. I like it. I love watching it. But I will say this, Tessa for champ, no matter what way this ends, I want to see her win it.
So,
and she's done amazing this year. She really has. She's gone through some of the biggest men going. As well as Sammy. She may have lost to him twice, but she's still got that spirit, that determination. She's still got... she's got everything she needs. So, Tessa to win, definitely.
So I look at it like, well, she's had a great year with the Knockouts title, the matches with Taya, the match with Gail Kim, and then getting into the matches. Brilliant. Yeah, getting with the match with Sammy. And Sammy's been doing his thing all year with Brian Cage, with everybody from Pentagon, the whole nine. Like, he's been killing it. I gotta say, as far as this goes, I like Sammy's verbiage about, this isn't intergender wrestling, this is just pro wrestling. I'm gonna treat you as an equal, which is true. I mean, if you actually look at it, like, females, when they train with guys, when they're in the wrestling school together, you have to, do drills and stuff, guys and guys, what have you. So they're in there, they're in the mix. So it's like, whatever. And I like the equality factor of that. But yeah, I got to go Tessa all day, every day. Tessa Blanchard, she's undeniable. Let's get her as the champ. So that.
Yeah, exactly. We should make a big board, even though obviously I'm not there in person, but I might make one at home and just put it up. No one can see it barring me going, go Tessa, and I'd probably throw shoes at the TV like I normally do. And get told off for being too loud when I'm watching Impact. So you know what I'm like.
I got you. So we got Impact Wrestling this Sunday. Hard to Kill, live from the Bomb Factory in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be lit. We got NXT UK early in the day. It's going to be a fun night of wrestling. We're going to see a lot of good stuff here. We're going to see NXT UK tear it down as they do. So enjoy your pro wrestling this Sunday, January 12th. And that will conclude this prediction show. We'll be back whenever the hell the next pay-per-view is, which I'm guessing it's Rebellion, April, one of those things. But you and I will be talking some more Impact, and you and I are going to be doing a lot of shows together, Miss Macdonald. So, without further ado, please promote your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole nine, where people can check you out.
Okie dokie. Make sure you watch on Sunday, people, because this is not a show you want to miss. If you want to find me, I am under the name on Twitter, the Demoness, Nicola Mac 853. If you want to find me on Facebook, I am Nicola Macdonald Dave Smith. My Instagram, I've still not learnt, Mike, so you may have to just put that one down like you normally do.
So if you want to follow Nicola Macdonald on Instagram, you can follow. You're welcome. You can follow her at Macdonald2569.
Thank you, and yeah, make sure you watch on Sunday. You will not be disappointed.
All right, so the links will be in the description down below. Stay tuned for more shows from myself, from Lingerie Fighting Championship, which I host the podcast Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. Support Max Wrestling Podcast, support RWT, Raw Wrestling Talk, and just check out everything that we're doing with Impact. I worked with a lot of great people, Andre Corbeil, J-Bone, the Total Nonstop Impact Wrestling crew, Trent Zuberi, Kyle, the whole nine. Support your podcast, support your professional wrestling, and support just Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill, NXT UK, Takeover Blackpool 2. Gonna be some fun shows this weekend. And I gotta say, for Nicola, as always, it's a pleasure. My name is Mike Larkin. This will conclude the Hard to Kill prediction show. We'll be back to you next time. So everyone have a great day and enjoy the pay-per-views on Sunday.